Can you explain again why the topicality won't be educational? Like our topicality about education, why won't it be educational?
You said it won't be educational.
Exactly, but you said it will be. Why will it be?
Because you're still learning about satellites.
But our point was not about satellites.
You
We
said
were about the affirmative and the negative case in general.
well, your topic. Wait, what was your meaning about the education?
It's in our case, one of our cases. Alright, going on to the next question. You said that the UN is the charter of all, is all around the world, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody will know about it, right? So do you have an evidence card for that?
It's in your hands.
Really? Where?
Yeah, that one, that page right.
Here?
Remember the highlighted area.
A key benefit of information
No,
sharing.
not that one. Number 25.
That numbers.
Exactly. Well, proprietary information that has nothing to do with the UN.
No, I'm saying that the UN, like
No, but do you have any evidence cards to support that argument? In general?
UN is
Do you?
in general. No.
No. Alright. Moving on. You said that China will shoot it down and then war will come between
Well,
US.
yes.
Blah blah blah. Okay. That's good enough. Alright. How will the MDA stop the Colombian drug dealers?
Because like now they're using submarines in the water, then MDA will be able to track those submarines, like the semi-submarines, actually, so like a boat, it can be a boat and it's a submarine.
Oh yeah. Do you know anything about the chips in the MDA? Like how do they insert the chips into the MDA? Like you launch it.
What do you mean?
What?
Never mind.
So you know how like MDA, the satellite has to be launched into the air, right?
Uh-huh.
But to have a tracking device, there's a say there's a chip. How will you insert those chips?
Insert it.
But where? Or whatever comes up. What comes
No,
up?
it's not.
How?
Like how? You just put it in.
Can you please explain?
I can't talk.
You're talking. Exactly. Exactly. That's what
This is not the sound of shit.
Okay. What? How is that?
Okay, never mind.
Thank you.
Yes, you have to know that.
You should type faster.
Okay, wait.
The ships. Fuck out your eyes.
You typed that after I asked.
Never mind. Screw that.
Don't screw that. Please don't screw that.
Okay, now it's negative 1. Yep. Wait. I need to add this up all over the place. Okay. First, I will respond to the topicality arguments, and then answer to RC counterplan. Or then extend my counterplan, and then do case attacks. But you're gonna
Explain me. I said that you explain.
yeah, extend my case.
Okay.
Then do case attacks.
It's under the city explain.
Now what are the case attacks for?
Oh, it's on there.
Inherency and solvency.
It's on there.
Inherency, solvency, and then that's it. 3, 2, 1, go. First, they said that satellites can't have human on it, can't have human on it, and all that. But then their arguments unwarranted, and their topicality representation is unstructured. You have to follow the structure of A, validation, B, interpretation, etc. Also, going on to their refutation of spending DA. First, they say that spending is okay, and they won't call recession, and then they go on to say that the economy is not good now. Aren't they contradicting themselves? Also, their evidence from 1996 and ours is from 2010. Also, they said US is everywhere, and every country will know it, and we shouldn't be doing it because this is for the use of skies, which now connects to my solvency attacks for their case, which MDA kills freedom from the seas, most importantly the trade freedom. Caution U.S. Navy Institute, December 2009. Its surface maritime domain awareness is appealing, but its application carries a destructive potential of freedom on the seas. Maritime domain awareness poses one of the greatest challenges to the principle of freedom of the seas, a pillar of sea power and globalization. Today, a pall of doubt hangs over the principal future because maritime domain awareness helps coastal states to regulate and control offshore shipping. 2. Information risks being abused. Affirmative is risking freedom and potential illegal means. Partial U.S. Navy introduced in December 2009 by collecting and sharing international shipping information. At the same time, the information can be mined or abused. Coastal states can use awareness systems to unilaterally enforce excessive maritime claims and illegal shipping regulations, such as excessive restrictions on passage rights, bogus environmental laws, and unlawful security requirements. Maritime domain awareness capabilities help coastal nations strengthen control, but also illegal. 3. Does not encourage global cooperation, kills and disrupts global interaction and freedoms of seas. Carlo U.S. Navy Institute, December 2009. Maritime domain awareness also creates associated risks. The difficulty is that between the United States and the Allied nations who have widely divergent views on what constitutes a maritime domain threat. Other U.S. agencies, many foreign coastal states have identified their threats. Thus, MDA should be used to deter and impede lawful activity in the oceans. Its development has been divorced from a calculation of the greater Scottish ocean intents of the United States in preserving global freedom from the sea. This shows that we should do our counterplan because their plan actually discourages global cooperation and is in the risk of being illegal and then risking the freedom of all countries, which our counterplan get rid of it because we're using UN, so everyone can share it. Their spying military means is actually bad. Also, answer and heresy. MDA are already working fine with fund now. U.S. Department of Homeland Security doesn't stop. The total amount of funding available for FY 2010 is $97.5 million. FEMA has identified the following priority of its selection criteria. Signed is as outlined in the National President Goal established under Presidential Policy Determinant 8, signed by the President last year. First, enhancing maritime domain awareness. It means that they already have a goal of enhancing maritime domain awareness with the fund this year. Also, answer and heresy for ORS. Air Force is already launching a full fund and full support. Affirmative has no inherency. Reagan, April 28, 2012. Yesterday. The U.S. Air Force plans to launch a fifth Minotaur I rocket from NASA Wilkes Flight Facility and the Mid-Atlantic Regional Spaceport in 2013. Orbital Science Corporation announced the Air Force has ordered the launch vehicle of its ORS-3 Enabler mission for the operational responsive space office of the Department of Defense. Shows that they don't have inherent for both MDA and ORS. Also, now to extend on what Jimmy didn't say. 4. It's the counterplan thing. 4. Single nation launching potential space weapon will encourage world war. UN is the only solution. Popular Time magazine, April 12, 2012. Just the idea of aiming for space led to the Hero of Fire panic in East Asia, and more measures are very real against for the rest of the world. A lunar country with nuclear weapons and global reach is no one's idea for a good thing. 5. No single actor has the potential of doing this plan alone. Conway Root had Allen 2007. The vast majority of the world population lives within a few hundred miles of the oceans. Social instability has the potential to increase significant disruptions. The effect of climate change may also amplify human suffering. Mass communication will highlight the drama of human suffering. No one nation has the resources required to provide safety and security throughout the entire maritime domain. Also, onto extending the politics DA. My partner said that U.S. economy is the key, and also U.S. is the key to world economy. Wayne Shanghai Daily, May 2011. There are also still many uncertainties, such as debt crisis in the European Union, political wars in North Africa, and earthquake in Japan. The situation in the United States was also crucial for recovery. The U.S. has passed the most difficult times with better employment and better finance. There are signs of growing power in emerging markets, but the global economy order remains the same as before the crisis, dominated by U.S. What the U.S. will do is crucial for the rest of the world. Easing politics in the U.S. led to flood money. McKenna economic professor at Stanford University said it partially explains that why inflation is so high in China. It shows that U.S. is key to world economy. Also, impact to links to more impact for spending DA. Threaten global economic stability and lead to global nuclear war. Melbourne 2005. Spread of nuclear weapons with a corresponding increase in the likelihood that a nuclear shell will be fired in anger somewhere in the world. The global economy suffers serious damage that more active American role might be legitimate. The first 21st century American reach will have similarly advanced international economy's consequences. The economic collapse led to world war. It shows that economic collapse will lead to world war, impact for Economic decline crushes relations with all countries, standards, and humanity. Circumstances of looming catastrophe like these call a maximum of world order and international cooperation. And it is in such time that the political will for global governments is in a shorter supply. The decline in hegemonic power will think less about maintaining world order than about shoring up its position relative to new challengers and upstarts. Military cooperation will run against similar constructs due to substitutions that others may gain at one's own expense by free riding on the public goods provided by the environmental protection, trade regulation, and collective security regions. Also, in Impact 5, economic collapse erodes public support for hegemony. Top center of a new American security 2009. Policymakers have taken for granted that the Home Front will cooperate with the military missions and expenditures. Will this continue in the face of greatest economic crisis since the 1930s? Given the state of people in retirement accounts and the job prospect, where will be the public view regarding Afghanistan a year from now? I'll guess that the administration has no more than a year now striking progress in Afghanistan before the public starts to growl. Also, as they of expensive weapon programs and air and sea platforms that allow the United States to sustain its position as a global military hegemon. This shows that economic collapse can actually make the public angry and they won't support for the U.S. government anymore. Also, impact global nuclear war and international economic stability. Although the spread of nuclear weapons with the corresponding increase the likelihood of nuclear shocks. Without that role, the role very likely would have been in the past and will become in the future the less secure and less purpose-placed and identification by United States of some or all of the responsibility for the international security that it had come to bear the first decade in the 21st century and will derive the international system as one of its principal safety features. It shows that without U.S. If the economic collapse, it will have global nuclear war and the international economy will be unstable, which leads to the other impacts that I said. And also, we have proved economic decline does lead to global conflict. Economic decline may increase the likelihood of external conflict. For these reasons, we urge you to vote negative. Now what?